The Bloodline saga continues to captivate the WWE Universe with its ongoing drama. During the latest episode of SmackDown, Roman Reigns and Jey Uso once again fell victim to the numbers game of the new Bloodline. Reigns and Jey Uso were involved in a backstage segment, but it ended with the Yeet Master ignoring the original tribal chief. Despite this rejection, Reigns still needs an ally by his side to combat the Bloodline, which consists of Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and Jacob Fatu. One potential star who could take Jey Uso's place is former honorary Uso, Sami Zayn. The 40-year-old star joined the faction during his last heel run in the company. Even though Sami was a villainous character at the time, his role as a member of the Bloodline was loved by fans. Interestingly, Zayn was the one who initially betrayed the original Bloodline, which ultimately led to the Usos turning against Roman Reigns. Now that the original tribal chief has turned babyface and needs allies, he might turn to Sami Zayn for help in this ongoing war against Sikoa's group. The head of the table and Jimmy could attempt to reconcile with Zayn and apologize for their previous actions, which might lead Sami to forgive them and side with Reigns in a potential Bloodline civil war. As of now, the underdog from the underground is not involved in any interesting storyline on Raw. He recently suffered a loss to Gunther in a World Heavyweight Championship match on the Red brand. Therefore, bringing Zayn back to SmackDown to side with Reigns would be a compelling direction, especially after Jey Uso refused to ally with Roman. It remains to be seen how things will unfold in the coming weeks and whether Sami will take Jey's spot in the original Bloodline. If the above scenario unfolds, WWE has the option to book Sami Zayn in a tag team match against the Bloodline. Currently, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa are the WWE Tag Team Champions on SmackDown, and they are set to defend their titles against the winners of the match between DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns. If the Bloodline manages to overcome their next challenges and Sami reunites with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, WWE could set up a title match featuring Zayn. Both Sami and Jimmy had great chemistry during their time in the heel faction, so they could team up to dethrone Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. This would not only bring the gold back to the original Bloodline, but also show that Roman Reigns wants to take everything away from Solo Sikoa in this ongoing warfare. The world of WWE is constantly evolving, with storylines twisting and turning to keep fans engaged and excited. One of the most talked about stories in recent years has been the rise and internal conflict of the Bloodline, a faction led by the imposing Roman Reigns. The storyline involving Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jey Uso, and Solo Sikoa has captivated audiences for well over a year. Recently, Jey Uso made the monumental decision to leave SmackDown, opting instead to join Monday Night Raw, a move that left a significant gap in the Bloodline. With Jey's departure, many fans have speculated on the future of the group. Will they continue with fewer members, or will a new star rise to fill the void? Some fans have begun to wonder if a returning WWE legend, a 40-year-old veteran, might re-enter the SmackDown scene to take Jey Uso's spot in the OG Bloodline. This speculation sparks curiosity as to who this potential star could be and whether this move would work within the current dynamics of the faction. To understand how significant it would be for a WWE veteran to take Jey Uso's spot, it's important to revisit the formation and significance of the Bloodline. The faction, rooted in real-life family ties, consists of Roman Reigns and his cousins, the Usos, Jey and Jimmy, along with their younger brother, Solo Sikoa. The family heritage, tracing back to the famous Naomi wrestling dynasty, gives the Bloodline a sense of legitimacy and dominance in the WWE landscape. Jey Uso's journey with the Bloodline started with him being an underdog, forced to acknowledge Roman Reigns as the tribal chief. However, over time, Jey rose from being a subordinate to one of the most beloved stars in WWE. His internal struggle, loyalty to family versus the desire for freedom, culminated in emotional moments that resonated deeply with the WWE Universe. This storyline has been a masterpiece of long-term storytelling. But now, with Jey's move to Raw, the Bloodline is left without one of its key pillars. Roman Reigns still reigns supreme as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, but the absence of Jey leaves a void in the faction's power dynamics. This is where the speculation about a returning 40-year-old WWE star comes into play. With WWE's roster full of legends and veterans, several names have been floated as potential candidates to take Jey Uso's spot in the Bloodline. One of the most prominent names among them is The Rock. Although he's 51 years old, his presence would be an instant box office hit. As the most recognizable member of the Naomi family, The Rock would make sense from a storyline perspective. However, his Hollywood commitments make this scenario highly unlikely, as he's rarely available for long-term storylines. This brings us to other possible veterans who could fill the spot, such as Samoa Joe or Carlito, both of whom are in their early 40s. But these superstars, despite their in-ring abilities and charisma, do not share the same family connection as Jey Uso, which makes it less likely that they could fit into the Bloodline's tight-knit family structure. However, one name that has been gaining traction among fans is Jacob Fatu, who is currently a star in Major League Wrestling, MLW. Jacob Fatu is not only related to the Inoue family, but also embodies the intense, ruthless aggression that fits perfectly within the Bloodline's aesthetic. Though he's just under 40, Fatu would be a tremendous addition if WWE could work out a deal with MLW. But let's focus on one WWE veteran who has all the tools to be the perfect fit, Naomi, aka Trinity Fatu. At 36, Naomi isn't exactly 40, but she brings with her a unique blend of athleticism, charisma, and most importantly, she is Jey Uso's real-life sister-in-law. This connection alone makes her an interesting candidate to join the ranks of the Bloodline. Though Naomi hasn't been seen in WWE since her departure in 2022, she was one of the most athletic and talented female wrestlers on the roster. Over the years, she became a fan favorite due to her Feel the Glow persona and captivating in-ring performances. Her history with the Bloodline is minimal on-screen, but her real-life ties to the family could easily be written into the storyline. If Naomi were to return to SmackDown and take Jey Uso's place, it would shake up the faction in a fascinating way. Her presence would give the Bloodline a different dynamic, potentially adding an intergender aspect to the group's dominance. Imagine Naomi standing alongside Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, adding her own spin to the faction's story while bringing fresh eyes to the women's division as well. WWE could build an interesting story around Naomi being brought into the group by Roman Reigns, perhaps initially resisting but eventually falling in line to protect her family. On the other hand, Naomi's return could spark internal tensions, especially with Solo Sikoa. The young powerhouse has been portrayed as Roman Reigns' enforcer, someone who does the dirty work without question. However, Naomi could challenge Solo's position as Roman's second-in-command, creating a power struggle that would add layers to the Bloodline's internal storylines. This could also lead to Naomi breaking out as a standalone figure if the story were to eventually take a turn where she seeks freedom from Roman's control, echoing Jey Uso's own journey. While the idea of a returning 40-year-old veteran stepping in to fill Jey Uso's role in the Bloodline is intriguing, the reality is that WWE may not need to bring in an outsider to fill that gap. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Solo Sikoa are strong enough to keep the faction afloat, especially with Roman's status as the dominant champion. However, WWE has never shied away from shocking returns, and a veteran presence could elevate the storyline in ways that are unpredictable. Naomi, while younger than the suggested age bracket, offers a compelling option. Her real-life connection to the family, her skill in the ring, and her untapped potential in the current WWE landscape make her a prime candidate to return and make waves. Furthermore, Naomi's return would give WWE a unique opportunity to strengthen both the women's division and the Bloodline storyline simultaneously, a win-win for the company. If WWE chooses not to bring Naomi or another veteran back, there's always the possibility of elevating someone from within the current roster, or even debuting a new family member from the Inoue dynasty. Either way, the future of the Bloodline remains one of the most exciting and unpredictable aspects of WWE programming. Fans will have to stay tuned to see how this fascinating story continues to unfold.